What if the man who inspired Luffy to become a pirate is also the man Luffy will have to defeat to become king of the pirates? What if Shanks, the most beloved figure in all of One Piece, is not a hero at all? This is not a random fan theory. This is something Oda has been building since Chapter 1, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Welcome to One Piece Uncovered, where we dig deep into the lore, the foreshadowing, and the hidden details that most fans scroll right past. Let us start with the obvious question. Why do fans love and trust Shanks so much? Because Oda made us love him on purpose. Shanks gives Luffy his hat. He loses his arm saving Luffy. He stops a war with nothing but his presence and his conqueror's haki. He is calm, he is noble, and every time he appears on screen, the music swells, and fans lose their minds. But here is the thing about Eiichiro Oda. He is one of the most deliberate storytellers alive. Every emotion he makes you feel is a tool, and he has spent over 25 years making you feel completely safe about Shanks. That should make you nervous. Let us talk about what we actually know about Shanks, because the answer might surprise you. We know almost nothing. For a character this important, that is suspicious. We do not know his full backstory. We do not know his real goal. We do not know why he found Gol D Roger's ship as a child, or how he ended up in Roger's crew. We do not know what he actually wants in the New World. What we do know is that Shanks showed up in Marineford and stopped the war. That sounds heroic on the surface. But think about who benefited from that moment. The world government was still standing. The Marines kept their power structure. The Revolutionary Army did not gain ground. The status quo was preserved. Shanks did not stop the war for justice. He stopped it to maintain balance, and he has been maintaining that balance for a long time. Here is where things get really interesting. In Chapter 907, Shanks walks into Mary Geoise and sits down with the 5 elders. The highest authority in the world government, the people who control everything from the shadows. And they let him in, without hesitation. Now think about that. Whitebeard could not get a meeting like that. Kaido could not. Big Mom could not. But Shanks walks in, and the 5 elders say that they will hear him out, because of his distinguished service. Distinguished service to the world government. What service? When did Shanks serve the world government? And why would a pirate, a man who sailed with the Pirate King himself, have any distinguished service to the most corrupt institution in the world? Oda never explains this. He just drops it and moves on. That is not an accident. Stay with me here, because this next part connects directly to what we just talked about. In the Egghead arc, we finally learn that one of the 5 elders, St. J. Garcia Saturn, has a devil fruit ability that is ancient, powerful, and terrifying. And the 5 elders themselves are revealed to be far more than bureaucrats. But here is the detail that connects back to Shanks. When Shanks uses his Conqueror's haki near the beginning of the Marineford arc, it is so powerful that it drops Vice Admirals to their knees. That level of haki in One Piece is not just strength. It is will. It is intent. It represents what a person truly wants at their core. And Shanks has it in abundance. Now ask yourself, a man with that kind of will, who has had private meetings with the world government, who has operated freely in a world that hunts pirates, who appeared on a pirate ship as a small child and rose to the top of the pirate world without anyone knowing his origin story. That is not a simple character. That is a player. And players always have a game they are playing. We are just getting started. Because coming up, we are going to talk about what Shanks' real goal might actually be, what his connection to the Void Century could mean, and why his final confrontation with Luffy might be the most emotionally devastating moment in anime history. Keep watching. Here is a framework that might reframe everything. In One Piece, the will of D represents people who carry a hidden legacy, a connection to a forgotten truth about the world. Luffy is a D. Roger was a D. Whitebeard was a D. Shanks is not. His full name is Shanks. No middle initial. No D. And in a story where that letter means everything, its absence is loud. So where does Shanks fall in the grand conflict between the world government and the people carrying the will of D? He is not on one side, he is not on the other. He is exactly in the middle, just like he was at Marineford. Some theorists believe Shanks represents a third faction. Not the world government. Not the pirates who want freedom. But a group that wants to control the outcome of the final war. A group that knows what the One Piece actually is and intends to decide who gets to it and when. Shanks finding Gol D Roger's ship as a child might not have been luck. It might have been a placement. Someone put him there, and whoever did that had a plan. Let us talk about the hat one more time. Shanks gives Luffy the straw hat and tells him to return it when he becomes a great pirate. That sounds like a mentor passing a torch. But what if it is something else? What if the hat is leverage? In One Piece, objects carry emotional weight. Luffy would do almost anything to honor that hat and the person who gave it to him. If Shanks is operating in a way that opposes what Luffy stands for, the hat becomes a chain. It is the one thing that could make Luffy hesitate at the worst possible moment. Oda does not give characters sentimental objects for no reason, and that hat has been around since page 1. Here is the full picture. Shanks knows what the One Piece is. He has known for a long time, possibly since his days on Roger's ship. He has been working to control who reaches it and what happens when they do. His alliance, whether formal or unofficial, with the world government is not friendship. It is a deal. A deal to manage the outcome of the final war. When Luffy gets close to the end, Shanks will not step aside. He will not cheer from the sideline. He will have to stop Luffy. Not because he hates him, but because letting Luffy reach the One Piece on his own terms would break the plan that Shanks has spent his entire life executing. And Luffy, who loves Shanks more than almost anyone, will have to make the hardest choice of his life. That is the story Oda has been writing. Not a story where the villain is someone we hate. A story where the villain is someone we love. That is what makes One Piece different from everything else. Oda has said the ending of One Piece will make people cry. Not from sadness alone. From weight. From the feeling that everything meant something. A final battle between Luffy and Shanks would do exactly that. The hero versus the man who made him a hero. The straw hat returned. The dream fulfilled. And the heartbreak that comes with it. That is the ending Oda has been building since 1997. If you think this theory holds up, drop a like on the video and subscribe to One Piece Uncovered for weekly deep dives just like this one. And leave a comment below with this question. Do you think Shanks is a villain, a hero, or something in between? And if Luffy and Shanks do fight, who wins? We read every comment. Let us talk about it.